What's up YouTube? I got a really cool NU match here against iFailAtPokemon. Looking at his team, obviously the biggest threat for me is going to be his character, which could easily set up with a substitute, a sword stance, and maybe even a grass fan to move along with a sucker punch. So we're going to have to see if I can play around that. Also, his swell is going to be quite annoying as well. As you can see, most of my team cannot take a guts boosted facade very well. So we're going to have to see if I can play around that as well. Well, we're going to get straight into the battle, and he's going to go with his Garbodor. I'm going to go with my Braviary, and obviously this is not a good switching for me, so I'm gonna have to make the pretty obvious U-turn switch and go into my Garbodor, which is actually gonna bite me back in the ass in about a couple of minutes. So I'm gonna go into Garbodor. Like I said, I'm gonna get the aftermath boost, which is pretty useless, can't really do much with that. So I'm gonna just try and go for the psychic, and maybe, you know, I can try and get some damage on something, but I completely forget that he is Cacturne at this point. And knowing that this thing is probably most likely to be Scarfed, he's actually gonna go for the sword stance instead for the sucker punch. So I could have like stayed in and gone for the focus blast, but I was scarfed, so I wasn't able to do that. Maybe running an expert belt set or something like that might be a little bit better, I'm not sure. But I'm going to go into Braviary, and I really did not have much else to take a sucker punch, and I should have gone into the superior the first time because I would have been able to go for the substitute, forcing him to maybe go for the sucker punch because I would have been faster. And yeah, that just wasn't a really good play by me whatsoever. Now I'm going to go into my superior, and I'm going to be able to sub up as he goes for the sucker punch, which is going to help out a lot, basically keeping me from getting swept this match, which is really going to help out. I'm deciding to go for the HP Ice, which really does not do as much as I intended it to, and he's going to be able to go for the Bullet Seed, and unfortunately the first one is going to be able to break my sub. Looking at that damage, it was the crit probably mattered, so maybe I would have been able to a little bit more HP to where I would be able to sub up again. I'm not really sure. Not a big deal at this point. So he actually goes for the sucker punch again. I really have no choice but to go for the Calm Mind, maybe just to waste some sucker punch PP, and then maybe for whatever reason he might want to go for, I don't know, maybe like a sword stance or something. So I just play stupid. I go for the HP Eyes, but he of course is going to go for the sucker punch, which is really nothing I can do about. So now I'm going to bring in my Mantine, and I make a couple of bad plays here, expecting him to do the opposite. I'm going to go for the rest, expecting him to go for the Bullet Seed, and now I'm going to go for the Toxic, expecting him to go and maybe like go for the sword stance or something to knock me out. But unfortunately he actually ends up going for the Bullet Seed again, and it's just not going to work out well in my favor at all. So yeah, he's going to go into his Golduck now. Thankfully his Cacturne is dead, so I don't have to worry about that later. And for whatever reason, he actually ends up going for the HP Grass, which is what I think this is. And thankfully I live with 13 HP, which is a huge break. And I am going to be able to get up to max HP, and it's really nice too because I am, of course, a Sleep Talk variant, and I am going to be able to get the burn with the Scald here in just a second, which is going to help out a lot. So I'm really not sure what I want to do against this Golduck. It seems to be a Calm Mind, so I'm not too afraid of it because he really can't hit me with anything that's too damaging. So I'm just going to decide and stay here and maybe even force him to switch out into something else, which would probably be what's that electric poke? Electros, excuse me. And you'd probably want to go to Electros anyways because it does have pretty good defenses as well, and I really can't do much with this Scald anyways. So that was probably going to be the play for him in a second. So he's going to get some more burn damage. I'm just going to stay in here, and I really don't want to bring in anything else to take hits from a +1 Golduck. So I wake up and I go for the Scald, and it's going to do a pretty good amount of damage, but not as like I said, not as much as I intended it to earlier. So I'm going to switch out here. I'm going to have to go into my Sandshrew, which is basically going to take a Volt Switch very nicely. I guess he didn't want to overpredict so soon. So that's going to work out pretty well for me. I'm just deciding to go for the Rapid Spin because I really didn't think he had much to hit me with, to be honest. Maybe like Flamethrower or something, but I did not expect the Grass Knot. Now, I really don't see Electros or Golduck these days. I really don't know what they do, but I do go for Rapid Spin. I am able to get up my, or get rid of my Toxic Spikes, which is going to be pretty nice for me. So I'm just going to go into my Tauros, and I really expected him to probably just go into Golduck because I guess he wanted to keep Electros out for later because I still have Mantine in play. So that's probably probably was the best play he could have made right there. Now, he has Willow, and like I said before earlier in the video, I do not have anything to take a Facade very well at all, especially since it's Gust boosted. Maybe he might be adamant here, so that's why I just decided to stay in and fodder with Tauros. Maybe he would be adamant and I would have been able to outspeed. But as you can clearly see, he is Jolly and he's going to outspeed and take out my Tauros. But that was basically the best play I could have made right there. So I'm going to go into my Gardevoir now, which is Scarfed, and I'm going to be able to go for the Psychic straight away. I guess he didn't want to overpredict whether I was going to go for the Psychic or the Thunderbolt, and he just wanted to play it safe. If I went for the Thunderbolt, it would have easily KO'd, but so does Psychic, so I mean, why would I go for the Thunderbolt anyway? So yeah, I'm going to switch out now into my Mantine, which is going to easily take moves from the Symbies here, and it's kind of a strange team, as I can tell he's running right now, because he has two Pokemon that are especially offensive, which both set up, and I really don't see it that much in these metagames. Usually I see like maybe a Choice Specs or Choice Scarf, and then a special defensive wall, and then maybe something that sets up. But he has a Pokemon that has Calm Mind, and the other one has Nasty Plot. Really don't see it that much these days. I don't know, maybe that's just me, but pretty uncommon. So he's just going to go for the Nasty Plot. He really has no better play to go for, and I guess maybe just going for the HP Grass or HP Ice, whether which one it is. I don't know which one it is because it's doing neutral damage. But which one ever it is, he's just probably thinking that's probably the best move to go for, because he doesn't want to bring in his Electros now, which could get some more Scald damage, and then I would have been able to bring in Gardevoir later and just go for a Psychic. So yeah, that was probably the best move he could have made for, and it's going to work out for him a little bit, but not that much. So knowing he wanted to go for the Volt Switch here, I want to play safe and go into my Gardevoir, and indeed he does, which is going to work out very nicely, and he's actually going to be able to force himself to switch out into Gardevoir, which he probably could have kept on later to outstall my Mantine. Maybe, I don't know, maybe I'd rest. I don't think he has really any recovery. Maybe that would have been a better Star War for me, but I just still want to take my chances. So I go for the Psychic. Obviously that's the best move I can go for because of stab and all that, and I'm going to go for another one, and I'm thinking, okay, I know the Psychic is not going to kill, but I know his Thunderbolt is not going to kill because it's an Electros, so I should win this match here. Yeah, stupid Parahax. Yeah. But fortunately, I actually didn't even think of this. I am still faster with my Mantine, thanks to that, you know, Mantine speed, and I am able to knock out his Electros, which is like awesome. So what a close match that was right there against iFailAtPokemon. I don't know if he has a channel or not. If he does, it'll be down below and link for the description thing. And so yeah, probably bring you guys some more battles here. Maybe I'll try and get some in weekly for now, since you know Black and White 2 is going to be coming out pretty soon. I'm just running the English translation patch right now, so that's how I'm getting all my English stuff and all that. But yeah, so that's going to be basically it for today. Hope you all enjoyed the video. I will see you all later, and peace out.